What's going on, YouTube? I looked at this video yesterday detailing that about 7 million, maybe more, American citizens do not only donate blood or donate plasma just to give it away, right? They're not doing it just to be a donor. The 6.8 or 7+ million Americans who do it on a recurrent schedule, whether it's once a week, twice a week, they now do it for supplemental income. So on average, a donator will donate, I think, 880 milliliters of blood, which is a decent amount, especially if you're doing it often, especially if you're doing it 4 to 8 times a month. And if you're doing it with that frequency, you know, you're making upwards of $400 to $1,000 a month, which is essentially side money. It's hard to really be part-time income. I mean, it kind of is if you're reaching about 1,000, but United States, man, part-time income, you know, I guess anything counts. But yeah, people are now detailing that they're not doing this to be a donor and help the community, right, or help the state, help those in need. They're not even doing this to go, you know, I don't know, like they're not doing it as a one-time shop or like you know, a low frequency, like I'll do this twice, you know, just to make a couple dollars, just to see how it is. Like they're doing this with schedule, right? It's the most available thing for a part-time or side gig, donating blood, you know. So in the video, it gave 2 or 3 different like dynamics. One guy was in an accident, so I think it was hard for him to get work, and or he had to pay for some sort of medical bill, something like that. So that became supplemental income for him. Another person, a group of persons, wanting to go to a concert. You know, concerts are expensive. So that was an opportunity for them. And anything in between, right? People are donating blood to make ends meet, or to attempt to make ends meet. And so, like, as I think about this, and I was talking to my wife about this, I'm like, you know, and she was pretty like, you know, she was shaking her head, because I'm like, this is where it comes to, you know. This is where we've gotten, right? You would never heard about this 10 to 15 years ago as supplemental income. Whether it's something long-term or something short-term, right? We were taught to donate blood in school and shit like that. I have never done it, and I pray I don't have to do it. Just because I'm not really I'm not fully like up for what it really stands for or the means behind it. You know, I know we promote, you know, we promote blood and, you know, and all this stuff, and we're ever reproducing to keep ourselves alive, but my blood is far more valuable than $50, $100, $200 per pint or some shit, you know? So that's one. It's just having value, you know? And it's just furthermore succumbing to the fact that we are in this rat race, man. We are in the scramble effect, especially of citizens of America. You know, they're trying to figure it out. And it's like, I would rather figure it out outside the States. And that's what I came down to, because I'm not subjecting myself to that. There's no way in this big, beautiful world, although shit be going down, the world is still beautiful, right? As long as you make it beautiful, you kind of control your environment. And you got opportunity, and you're smart and take advantage of your opportunity and isolate yourself from people that are detrimental in your life. It's very simple. But anyway, I can't subject myself to that. You know, these are people who are supplementing their income / donating blood, or via donating blood, after already having one full-time job and or a part-time job, and it's not sustaining. We cannot self-sustain ourselves in America, for one, and two, we can't even keep employment. I saw this thumbnail, because stuff just pops up on YouTube, of this guy talking about how holding down a job in America is the new rich. That's what we've gotten to. That's why I'm like, false sense of luxury. Again, it's like owning a home. Owning a home is has a false sense of luxury, because a lot of people can't do it. Whether they want to or not. Like they can't. You know? Right? Going on a trip is a false sense of luxury, because people can't or won't do it. It's either they're mentally trapped or they're physically trapped. And being mentally trapped now is the new physical trap. I know a lot of people who make a lot of money. And I bet they wouldn't mind changing the situation, whether it's temporary or short term. And money is the only physical factor, and they have that variable to make it happen. And mentally, they can't do it. And so that's why I'm telling my wife, I'm like, look at the different dynamics, you know. She was referring to like refugees who are leaving their countries, leaving their places of origin, solely because they're in physical harm. Physical harm. They feel like they may die that day. Not something they brought on. It's because of rebels and their government and such, you know, so forth. Something that's pretty deep, right? Something that's more directly impactful. They're trying to seek refuge so they don't die. And I said, well, it's kind of the same in a way, if you think about it. People don't understand that America, in different parts, in different ways, right, is killing us, you know. The whole donating your blood for supplemental income exemplifies how America is literally bleeding us out. Right? But they're playing the long psychiatric game. You have all this opportunity, just go get it. You have all this opportunity, but it's at your own risk. It's at your own health. Go get it. Go get the carrot. Whether it's imaginary or not, it's still out of reach. Go get the carrot. That is what America has taught us and pushed us into doing ever since we've been in elementary school, you know. The system was perfectly designed and perfectly aligned with people who couldn't find a way out for themselves, or people who couldn't make a workaround for themselves. That's who the system works for, which is most people. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, guys. And for people who are not in America, I'm also talking about this because I just want you guys to get an idea. Again, I'm talking about the place I was both born and raised in, you know. And maybe I'm not beknownst to it. Maybe there's not the geographical reach that is intertwining like other countries like America for me to like compare and contrast to. But again, this is solely me discussing the place I was born and raised in. And also one of the quote unquote greatest countries in the world. Well, America is looking very third worldish. And the gap of divide has increased tenfold, 100-fold. I'll say it like this. If you're living in America and you have one job, right? Or you own a company. I'll say a job, because a company is you have to be a little more established and have your finances in a row, or at least have, a good credit line for a company. I'll just say just something simple. Your average Joe, you have a 9 to 5, and that 9 to 5, you can make around 80 to 90,000. I won't even say 6 figures. I won't even say 100,000. If you can make 80 to 90,000, a full-time job, decent benefits, and you're in a hybrid situation where you don't always have to go into the office, you own a home, I'll just keep it like that. I like, there's a luxury, in my opinion, a false sense of luxury that you have, because the comparison doesn't have that. Just giving you an idea. This is just where we're at now, man. So let me know, would you donate your blood? Would you start donating your blood this month, next month, to start making a couple $100s a month? Remember, when you donate your blood too, you should be healthy. So I don't know, are people healthy donating their blood? Should people be donating their blood? Do people have the microorganisms and whatever, the good stuff to donate and help somebody out? If people donate blood, will they have the energy to keep doing it after a couple months because they donate so much? I don't know. Just thought that was interesting to share.